Hi, Steven. My name is Roxy. I'll be a student PT working with you. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Today we're just going to be taking a couple of range of motion and manual muscle testing. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, so for this first one, we're just going to measure your cervical range of motion. So this one in particular, we're just going to do cervical flexion. So what that's going to look like, I just want you to make sure you're sitting nice and tall for me. From here, I'm just going to want you to try and tuck your chin down to the floor. Okay, perfect. And then back up. Any pain with that at all?
No.
Okay, perfect. So now, right before taking the measurement, I'm just going to line up my goni. I would also like to just emphasize that before working with the patient, I will make sure to gel in prior to touching the patient. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do, just while you're nice and tall, just so it doesn't impede our measurements, what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up the fulcrum right with the external auditory meatus. I'm going to make sure that the stationary arm is going to be perpendicular to the floor, and then I'm going to line up that distal moving arm with the bottom of the nares there. Okay, Steven, from here, if you're able to do that same motion looking down for me, perfect. I'm just going to realign my fulcrum with the external auditory meatus. I'm going to bring that moving arm in line with the bottom of the nares. Here we go. Reading I got for this here was 39 degrees of flexion, which is within the normal, which is 0 to 45 degrees. Okay, for this next test, Steve, we're going to be doing some manual muscle testing. This one in particular is going to be for shoulder abduction and scapular upward rotation. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, are you able to just bring your arm up overhead for me? Perfect. Go ahead and relax. Any pain with that at all? Awesome. So here we're going to be testing his serratus anterior, which is going to be innervated by that long thoracic nerve, which stems from C5 to C7. Okay, go ahead and bring that arm up for me, Steven. I'm just going to lower you just a tad. Awesome. So from here, I just want you to apply some resistance trying to take you out of this position. So I just want you to hold against that, okay? I'm just going to locate the inferior angle of his scapula and the lateral border of his scapula. Perfect. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Hold, hold, hold. Perfect. Go ahead and relax there for me. He was able to hold against my max resistance, so that would be scored 5 out of 5. In the case from 0 to 2, 2 would be he wasn't able to get through that entire range of motion. A 1 would be there'd be a little bit of movement, but there would still be quite a bit of muscle activation. But in the case of a 0, there would be no movement and no muscle activation. Okay, for this last manual muscle test, we are going to be testing elbow extension, primarily focusing on the triceps, which are innervated by the radial nerve, and that stems from the nerve roots of C5 to T1. Okay, Steven, so in this position here, are you straighten out your arm for me, and if you're able to bring it up, perfect. Let's go ahead and start bend. And let me have you go straighten out that elbow for me. Awesome. And then just relax. Any pain with that at all?
No.
Okay, so now we're going to be doing that exact same movement. I'm just going to be applying some resistance, okay? So go ahead, I'm just start bent there. So again, I'm going to want to be pushing your arm down. You just have to resist that motion for me, okay?
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold, hold, hold. Perfect. Go ahead and relax. He was able to resist against my maximal resistance, so he would be scored a 5 out of 5. In the case that he wasn't even able to get through elbow extension in a supine position, I would put him in a gravity eliminated position, which would be seated with arm out 90 degrees, and then I would just have him go into elbow extension. If he was able to do that, that would be a 2 out of 5. If he wasn't able to get through the motion, but there was some muscle activation, that would be a 1 out of 5. And if there's no muscle activation at all, that would be scored a 0 out of 5. Now that I'm all done with the patient, I would just make sure to gel out.